Still trying to throw the ball. On first and goal, second and goal. Panicking at third. Fourth, I'm wishing for a muff.
Welcome to the 510 Huddle. We back again, week 15. We almost at the end of the season. How you doing, Coach Lane?
Feeling great, man. I know you out of town right now, visiting some family. How is it, Zay? How you doing out there, man? Portland.
I'm up in Portland, man. It's one of my favorite cities because of the food. A lot of other stuff we could talk about as well off air, but it's a good city, man. It's a good city.
Okay.
But before we dive into this football talk, man, we're both Warriors fans. What's your thoughts on Wiseman after last night?
Hey, man, the young bull can play. My whole time watching the game, I just tried to keep my eyes on him. And while I was watching him, I just kept saying to myself, "Yeah, man, this is that piece. Like this is that big. This is that true center that we've been missing throughout our whole run. You know, and the new age center. Like we had the Bogey. Bogey's real good for success screens, pass the rock. You know, we had Boogie 1 year on the injured Riddle year.
KD was basically our center for a while.
Yeah. Him and Draymond. So it was just refreshing to see. Oh, damn, the Warriors got like one of these new age centers that can really do a little bit of something. And he can play. So that was definitely good and enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, I agree. You definitely can see something from game one playing. He hasn't played that many games, so to have that type of composure, coast to coast with the ball, shooting. He had it all. He had a putback dunk on KD. I'm like, yeah, this he got something.
No, that was Oubre. That was Oubre that got that one. That was nasty,
Oubre.
though. That was nasty. I've seen it. Yeah, I was like, okay, Oubre, okay.
Yeah, and I like Oubre. He's a streak shooter. I'm not expecting him to drop 15 plus every night. He gonna give you defense.
I like Oubre as that third piece. That's why we was talking about it earlier. That we got to get rid of Wiggins' ass. We got to get rid of him. He got to go.
Yeah, he's and it makes me even mad because bro, if we really had Steph, Clay, Oubre, Draymond, Wiseman, I'm talking chip. I don't care. I'm talking chip.
No, we got action.
Yeah, but Wiggins, whatever value we can get from him, he's got to go.
Yeah, he got to go now before that value drop because even last night he didn't look too good.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do Harrison Barnes all over again. That's what I get with Wiggins. I'm like, this is Harrison Barnes, bro. And real talk. Is there a difference between Wiggins and Harrison Barnes? Wiggins got a little more natural ability.
Yeah, I was just about to say Wiggins might just at this point just be a little more naturally athletic, freaky. That's probably about it. That's it.
Yeah, but am I wrong for thinking bro? All I keep thinking is Harrison Barnes when I see Wiggins, and as a Warriors fan, that's not good.
Yeah, that's what most Warriors fans kept trying to tell me. Oh no, he's gonna be good with us. A third option, he's gonna be a better Harrison Barnes. I'm like, nah, man, he's soft. Harrison wasn't soft. You couldn't just bully Harrison. Like you might score, but Harrison gonna try. You never seen his engine just die out. After already watching one game of Andrew Wiggins in the Warriors jersey, it just looked different. I'm good. I'm
spot on.
Straight off.
Last point on basketball before we dive into these football topics. Do you think the no fans is going to have just a low level of play throughout the season? Because I'm just thinking, let's just say in general, NBA players aren't going all out just in a regular season with fans. So without fans, do you think we can see more sloppy play?
Yeah, I'm not sure because you know why? I seen somebody they was talking about the bubble the other day, and I think there was referencing one of Dame's interviews about how his time was in the bubble, and he was like, when you look back on it, man, we had some of the greatest individual performances. It's not always going to be best for team wise because everybody on a 15 set of players on one roster, all not going to feel and think the same. But he was like, but if you go back and look at the bubble, we had some incredible performances from him, the D-Book, Dame, the D-Book's performances. The D-Book probably was the MVP of the bubble, him or Dame. So it was just a bunch of guys just going off because I think that it was just easy for them to wake up, walk to the gym, do basketball all over again. It had that AAU type feel. So if we're doing the regular season, I'm not sure, man. I'm really not sure. I don't think it'll play a big factor, mainly just because these guys did just get out the bubble with no fans.
Yeah, no, I think it's a little different because of football. Because as you know, as a football player, practice is as close as you can to a game, and when you're in training camp, you have to bring the energy. Coach always talks about we got to bring energy to practice, and so I think in the NFL that's why we still see that high level and type of play. The only thing I think that's tough for the NBA is it's a big momentum game, and so it's just weird. I think the bubble was easier because it was like, yeah, this AAU. They're in these huge empty stadiums, and it looks weird. So
You know,
I'm just go ahead.
what I will say is certain teams have an advantage in that empty arena type atmosphere, and I'll say like the Warriors, the Wizards. If you got a guy like a Russell Westbrook or a Draymond on your team, that's all the fans you need, man. They gonna keep you lit the whole game. Because I know I was that type of guy. Like in the empty gym, I was like that Draymond. Like I'm bringing that energy. I'm ready to play. It don't matter. I don't care if it's 1 fan, 10,000 fans. We coming ready to play. We're gonna have that fire. So certain
It's
teams,
that football mindset.
exactly. And certain teams, I definitely think will have an advantage walking into those empty arenas if they got the right guy on their team.
Definitely. I mean, to your point, it's probably just the veteran teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the young teams are like, bro, what is this?
Facts. They ain't never played the empty gym. The younger kids, because you know today's AAU, they got thousands of fans in the stadium.
Yeah, look, LeBron's at my game.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's real talk, man. I'm glad we got basketball back. Ready to see these young players on these teams, and Sue's gonna win the chip this year.
And just have some more sports on TV. That's what I'm happy about.
Yes, exactly, man. And honestly, before we go into football, I was watching young Charlie Woods and Tiger Woods. Like I could watch stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad we just got more stuff. Yeah. And I think the Tiger Woods documentary on HBO come out in January. It's going to be kind of like the Mike. So that should be fun to watch.
I'm about to check it out.
Now let's dive into football. We got playoffs coming up soon, 2 weeks away. And we're going to dive straight into it. The Raiders were officially eliminated from the playoffs this past weekend. You know, they can still end up 9-7, but won't make the playoffs. At this point, is the Gruden experiment a failure?
I want you to go first, eh? I want to hear what you got. Yeah, I want you to go.
I judge coaches off other coaches, and just simple as that. Year 3 is when stuff starts shaking and baking. Del Rio did it. Josh DeBow, one of the press writers, I think it was around 50 coaches in the NFL since NFL's existence that made the playoffs in year 3, or within their first 3 years. Anthony Lynn made the playoffs. Let's just put that out there. Within 3 years with the Chargers. And so that's an alarming stat for me. And the second stat is his December record. Regardless who's with Tampa, the first thing with Oakland, his December record is terrible. And to win the NFL, you have to win in December. So to answer the question, is this a failure? It has to be. There's no Khalil Mack. We've had questionable picks, the good picks, right? Colton Miller, Josh Jacobs, but Abram, Farrell picks, no. And when Drew Gruden came in, he was supposed to do a quick fix, year 3, up and running. And then the fact that amount of excuses this man has. And, you know, Gunther, he should have been gone. Who on this staff, you always look how good your staff is getting poached by other teams. No one is going to the Raiders staff to hire other coaches. That's how you can tell how good your coaching staff is. KC, Patriots, even Kyle Shanahan's staff, Sean Payton's staff, they're always poaching good coaches. So this has to be a complete failure. And to go on a deeper level, what coaches would you take over Gruden right now in the NFL? Not too many. If the ones that you would take Gruden over, they're probably getting fired. So it's a complete failure. And to just have any positive on the situation, because he is coming back, you have to hope that Mike Mayock continues to get good players, and Gruden's staff, he has to have a better staff and hopes of progressing as a coach. That's all I got on Gruden.
Okay, let me try to do my best Stephen A. impression right here. All your points are correct, but I have to respectfully disagree. You're wrong.
Okay.
As far as with the question, just pertaining to the question, all your points was correct, but as far as answering the question, I have to say you're wrong here, Zay. And it's only really for one reason, man. Gruden's timeline. It's that simple. Gruden's timeline is contract. I heard you try to compare him to other coaches, but has other coaches ever had a 10-year contract? I've never seen this, Zay. I've never seen it. So he's definitely in a different predicament here, in a different timeline. He just has to be off the fact that y'all gave him so much money in so many years. So what I would say is he definitely has one more year. Me and you definitely wanted to see playoffs this year, but I would say, yeah, he definitely has one more year. And who all you guys, everybody in that organization need to be banking their hat on right now is on Mayock and making sure Mayock can hit on the least. Because you guys aren't many pieces away. But on defense, you are. But like on offense, just as a team overall, you're not many pieces away. But you definitely need to just keep adding some talent to make that playoff push and get over the hump. So I think the biggest the biggest spotlight for the offseason should be on Mayock as far as making sure he hits and gets some pieces. As far as any positives moving forward, okay, we got to look at Jacobs as a positive. You got Rugg. You got some offensive talent. Abrams is still a question mark. It is his rookie year, so I'm trying to be nice on the kid, even though I'm not liking all the mental errors. You got a corner, possibly got a CB1, maybe a CB2 and Mullen. So Mad Max is still solid. So you got pieces. You got an O line for the most part that's still intact. The positive side is you guys are right there on the bubble. You're right there on the bubble of being a playoff, a year in and year out playoff contender team. Gruden needs to take the next step in evolving his offense and making sure his playmakers get the ball next year. But as far as for the offseason, Mayock definitely has to hit, man. You guys can't afford offseason where you guys don't recruit and add any talent. You have to add some talent to this roster.
Yeah,
Not a lot, but you're a few pieces away.
Okay, I like how you said that. This is in Gruden's mind, I guess. In the owner, Mark Davis is like, I gave him a 10-year contract for a reason. And if I guess I'm the owner, I'm like, hey, since 2002 when we lost the Super Bowl, we went to the playoffs one time. That's 2016. I need to stop doing, hire this. I need a real, I guess, 5-year plan to sustain, growth within this organization and not just make the playoffs and continue missing. So I understand that, and I think those are good points by you. My biggest problem is, and great point. I think the Raiders are ninth in offense and scoring, and of the top 15 teams in scoring, there's only 2 teams not in the playoffs: the Falcons and the Raiders. So that is a bright spot. The offense, it scores. It's just as finding a positive sentence of failure. This is the biggest offseason under Gruden because would you say this? It's a must that they make the playoffs next year. And you're going to have – I think next year is going to be harder than this year. There were 7 teams allowed in the playoffs this year. The Chargers were a mess. Next year, you're going to have the Chiefs and Chargers humming. So it could get brutal. I think next year is going to be even harder. Dolphins are going to be better.
Make that next step.
Right? The Patriots are going to be better.
The Colts might fall off. The Colts might fall off.
They might, but what if they get a legit quarterback? Oh, my God, right? I mean, the AFC, as we talked about before, right, it's tough, right? Let's say the Bengals are feisty, 7-win team. You don't want to play them next year. I think they could be a 7-win team with Burrow next year, right? The Texans will get better. The AFC is loaded. The Bills and Chiefs look like the big dogs. The Steelers, right? They're not going to fall off the map. So it's going to get even harder next year. The Raiders have to they have to get talent on defense, and they have to have some playmaker. They have to have someone on defense that you have to account for. Some player that the OC is going to be like, don't watch out for him. We don't have that. Not since Khalil Mack. Right. So let me ask you this then. So is next year a not a must win season as far as like Super Bowl or bust, but they must make the playoffs next year?
Yeah, and hey, like I said earlier, that's how you felt this year, next year, as far as higher ups are concerned, front office, yeah, next year, man, you guys gotta get to the playoffs. No more excuses. You gotta get in there. I think Zoe said it best last week on our pod, our guest. He just said both those guys need one more year at the end of the day. Because, we was ready to get rid of somebody, Gruden or Carr. I give him one more year because Carr didn't play bad at all really this year. For the most part, he played real well again, just like he did last year for Gruden. So let's give him one more year. I'll give him one more year. That's it.
You're right. I think if you're the Raiders, if you're, Mike Mayock, Gruden, Mark Davis, end of year meetings, I think you sit back and say, if we can just get our defense from in the 17 to 20 range, we're a playoff team. So, and that right, our offense we're going to score points. That's going to happen. So I think you might have changed my mind a little bit in the offseason. The Raiders, how do we get our defense in that 15 to 20 range? That's all we got to be to make the playoffs.
Number one on your priority for the Raiders, besides getting some talent, go get Wade Phillips. Gotta go get my guy Wade, man. Oh, you guys need some defensive help. Go get Wade.
Yeah, Wade. I would love Wade. I'll take Raheem Morris. One of those 2 guys. So he might be a head coach candidate. He's done well with the Falcons. Yeah. Well, that's what I got on the Raiders. Man, it's crazy. Last point on the Raiders. Should they win out? Like just to say, oh, we improved year over year with Gruden. I think Gruden wants to win out to say we're at least 9-7 this year.
Yeah, just so you can see
Yeah.
y'all taking those incremental steps forward, progression. So yeah,
Mm.
to
They
win, I
play.
would definitely have you guys going into the offseason on a high note and being able to come into the new season on a better footing.
Now this Dolphin game will be interesting to look at because the Raiders are playing the Dolphins, who must, they got to keep afloat. They're in the playoffs, want to keep winning. And secondly, uh, they're playing against Lynn Bowden, who was their third-round pick they traded away. And he actually got a lot of playing time last week. So they're going to be interesting pieces in that game. Let's go on to the 49ers, who are in take mode officially by starring Mullins. By starring Mullins the rest of the year. He's out now. They just got Josh Rosen on from the Buccaneers practice squad. So he'll be playing. What is the 49ers plan, you think? And I think it's really buckling down to two options. And so I want you to put your GM hat on, D-Lane, and what you think works best. Keep Jimmy and get a young QB in the draft, right? Whoever falls to you, because they won't be in that top 10. Trade majority of your picks to get in that top 5 spot to get a top QB, or get a veteran QB. What would you do here?
All right, so if I'm the Niners, I'm definitely going after a vet guy for one main reason. This roster is ready to win right now. It's ready to get all healthy. The Niners are ready to get all the way back home to the Super Bowl. I just feel like you know who I definitely he had another masterful game this past week. At least throwing the rock, it just looked beautiful. And I think I touched on him last week. He's a vet guy that I love. You know what I'm talking about? I think he'll fit perfect with them now. Now I just keep watching it over and over, and I think him and Shanahan will be nasty together.
Stafford.
Come on. All right,
Yeah.
hey, go get Matt. Go get Matt. Other reason. This roster's already built to win. Why add a young guy in to groom him and take another year or two off the prime years of this defense? Because we all know defenses their prime runs as a unit doesn't last as long as other positions and as how offense can be humming. You seen LOB Legion of Boom, 4 or 5 year run at max. So I wouldn't take a chance on a young guy and waste those prime years left because you have a Super Bowl built roster, guys. You just made it to the Super Bowl a year before with the B-level quarterback. I'm going to go get one of those guys that can only make a few throws in the NFL. And Stafford's one of those guys, and I definitely think he'll be available this offseason. You pair him with Shanahan. If Matthew Stafford or even Matt Ryan, either one of those two, especially Stafford, I'm higher on Stafford. One of those two go to the Niners, I'll put the Niners right back in the NFC Championship game for a healthy Niners. I'll put them right back today, right now, before the season starts. I'll put them back in the championship game. A healthy Niners squad with Matthew Stafford or Matt Ryan at quarterback.
I agree there. I don't think you can go wrong with that. And your point is they are in win now mode, right? And I think if they did draft a rookie quarterback, unless that guy is a Herbert, a Burrow right away, and that's not going to happen every draft, then you put yourself a little bit behind the curve. And in their division with Kyler Murray, Goff, and Russell Wilson, they're especially with Russ and Kyler, I think they're just going to keep getting better and better. The Rams are good, so you need someone to compete right away. The only question I have with a Stafford, right? I think on paper, if we're sitting here, it's right after the combine. Niners trade a first and a next year third for Matthew Stafford.
I don't think they got to trade first though for him, because he's a little older. It ain't like he's still young. I mean,
He's 32. He's 32.
You trade a first for a 32-year-old guy?
At quarterback, that's 7 more years.
You're right. I'm just saying. First. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I think they said a minimum is a first. Just a first. It might be a first straight up. And you got to remember the Niners aren't going to have a top 10 pick. They're going to have that 10 to 12 range. So I think unless they lose out, they might have the 10th pick. So, but my only question with Stafford is, and it's similar to the Niners' previous issues, is availability. He gets hurt every year. Every year he gets hurt.
Team. Yeah, for a trash team organization, I would expect a guy to get hurt every year. Probably don't want to be out there with those guys.
No, I'm not. Again, nothing's perfect. That would be my only hiccup by drafting Matthew Stafford is, hey, you don't want to end up in a situation, you're humming, it's 8-2, and Matthew gets hurt, right? It's happening. Like to your point, he's 32 years old, right? I think your QB prime age is 30, 35. So you're getting a good Matthew Stafford.
You know what I will say for Stafford, Jose? He gets those Big Ben type injuries every year. Like he'll miss 1 or 2 games. He's never really missed like 5, 6, half the season or a whole season. He's more like I think he has missed the season though with ACL or something like that. But for the most part, he's just like that Big Ben type of guy. He missed like a game or 2 a season.
No, 100%. And when I'm saying a game or two, let me say this: from 2011 to 2018, he didn't miss a game. He played with injuries, right? Let me just put that clear. Now, from 2019, he only played 8, was hurt. This year, he's played 14. He's been fine. And his second year in the NFL is when he was hurt, tore ACL, only played 3 games. So he is durable. But that's my only problem was of late. I know he's been on injury list a lot this year, and in 2019, he was hurt throughout the year. So that's my only question. But I think that would be the best option for them for the win now mode. If they don't do that, I think their best option is not to trade a bunch of picks, because if you're not getting Trevor Lawrence, I don't think any of these QBs are generational, for a fact, right? You're hoping, but you don't know for a fact. So I think the best option would be let a QB come to you, right? It might rather be a Mac Jones, Kyle Trask, the quarterback from Cincinnati, Ryder, right? In a late first, early second, and run it back with Jimmy. I think that's the second option. I just think the least, what doesn't make sense at all is to trade up a bunch of picks for a guy that they think can change their franchise. I just don't see that making sense for them with their 30 to 40 free agents. They have gaps to fill. So, but let me ask you this, D-Lane. What if Matthew Stafford, the Lions hire a top coach, and Matthew's like, I want this coach. I got a coach now. I don't want to leave. And there isn't that. Do you go after a Dak or Sam Darnold?
Like I said, still got action at Ryan. What we do know, some of these veteran quarterbacks will be on the move this offseason. We don't know exactly who, but some guys will be on the move this offseason.
Yeah, and like we said on the last show, I think there's pretty much 14 quarterbacks available if you want via trade, free agency, or draft. So if you need a quarterback, there's no excuse this year. No excuse.
Hey, you know who's balling right now? I'm just looking at the numbers. I'm just looking at some numbers right now. I'm looking at this guy numbers. I knew early on he was having a good year, and I thought in the middle of the season he had a little rough patch. But I'm looking at his numbers right now. He's been serving this year, my guy.
Who?
Ryan Tannehill.
Oh, I didn't hear. I thought you said no. Ryan Tannehill. He just. I think Ryan Tannehill is like he's just an inconsistent guy. Like 16 game schedule. It's gonna be 4 games where you're like, who is this? Yeah. Right, but you can win with that. With a good coach with Mike Vrabel, good offense. AJ Brown is knocking on the door, a top 5 receiver. My God. So you got weapons.
That's what I'm saying. I'm looking at the numbers. He damn near throwing for 67% completion percentage, 3,400 yards, and he's 31-5 touchdown to interception ratio. That's what I was looking at. I was like, okay, I didn't. Okay, balling.
Yeah,
that might be his best ratio of his career.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Russ up to 13 picks, man. It's crazy. Yeah. Russ might not ever get an MVP, man. This was his best year.
I know this though. They better not play Russ when it's Hall of Fame time.
Oh no, first ballot. Oh yeah, it's gonna be some records. That's he first ballot.
Because right now I think about like Steve Young's first ballot. I'm taking Russ over Steve Young.
Easy.
So, and that's no disrespect to Steve Young.
No, yeah, but easy evolution. Yeah. Evolution.
Exactly. Exactly. Hey, watch Kyler get a bunch of MVPs because they're like, yeah, we underlooked Russ. We're gonna make the little short quarterback get some.
Man, got it.
But I would say the benefit is when Russ came in, it was Legion of Boom. So Legion of Boom took all the shine. They were just like, and then it was like Legion of Boom. Grow. Exactly, and it was beast mode. So it was like, oh, this is Marshawn and Legion of Boom. Russ just over here game managing. But all right, let's dive into your Eagles. Hurts looking amazing. Back-to-back weeks, hitting all the check boxes, leadership, throwing from the pocket, running. Offense has some flow to it. Dougie P is smiling again. Will we see Wentz play again for the Eagles?
I'll say this. I still believe – I love what I'm seeing from Jalen, first off. Secondly, I still believe he's on this little 4-game trial just to see, like – and it's still – I don't believe that's enough, but that should just be enough the rest of the year for us to see, like, all right, can we move forward with this guy? And is it possible for us to start entering trade talks for Carson this offseason? And it all depends on how this young man finishes the season. How he's looking right now, Hey Zay, I watched a little bit of Jalen in college. I watched some Jalen in college. My biggest question mark, and I still have the same question mark on him right now and moving forward, is can Jalen make all the throws from the pocket on a consistent level enough for us to win? So far, he's doing that shit. Like he's completed a few fourth down passes or a 4th and 6 touchdown. Against the Saints, he stood right in the pocket and took a heat ball right up the middle from a linebacker and got hit right in his chops and delivered a strike for a touchdown. Like he's actually doing shit in the pocket and making throws from the pocket that I didn't think he could do. Now, just moving forward, for me to be comfortable with him, I just want to be able to see. I'm already damn near on his train, but I just want to see him be able to do it on a consistent level. Now, I'm not saying Jalen will be an all-pro level quarterback, nothing like that. But at his height, at his best, if shit can work out for him, I can see him making a few Pro Bowls. I can see the kid making a few Pro Bowls. I see that level of
I,
for him. And
I got
and instead of, I think last week we was talking about Zay, instead of like Deshaun or Russell College, he really reminds me more of Dakish. Like he got that Dak body build, but I just think he runs a little smoother and a few touches faster than Dak.
I got a bold statement to say, and I'm gonna say this first. I've been someone that's actually been when Tua took over for Jalen Hurts at Bama. I joked on Twitter, Hurts needs to go to running back right now. Right, he's not an NFL quarterback. Went to Oklahoma, getting on him. Then I said, out of Baker and Kyler, he's looked the worst out of the 3 quarterbacks. So I was like, even then, I'll say he still should switch to running back. All right, I said up there, right. After seeing these first 2 games, and we watched all these other rookies play. Jalen, I'll say Jalen looks better in his 2 starts than Tua's looked. That's a fact, and I've been high on Tua. Tua is my second best quarterback in the draft. He looks better than Tua as far as what he's shown and an ability to do. As well, I like how you brought up Dak. To me, he already looks at the same level as Dak. Right now, he looks like the level of talent of Dak. So what I'm predicting Hurts is going to be, Wentz is gone. Let me just answer that question. Wentz is gone. Get him the fuck out the building. He's fucking up your culture, that bad energy. Get his ass out of the building. I would just say you're done for the year. Don't show up. Like, we don't want you here. I'm dead ass. Second, but my point is, my bold take is, I believe Jalen Hurts is playing at the level of Dak Prescott right now. And I believe with his character and that coaching staff, he will take the development jumps that Josh Allen has took. And I think Jalen Hurts will be the best quarterback in that division for 10 plus years. And I'm going to say that. Like, I'm saying that. That's my bold prediction. He will be the best quarterback. I don't care who drafts who in that division for the next 10 years. Because what he's done, think about this. He stepped in and dysfunction.
Yeah.
And it's looking smooth. It is looking. I know Dougie P like, God, that should have pulled the trigger week 8. Shit.
Man, wish that we'll be leading the division right now.
And everyone hear me say this. I remember I was like, I'm not selling my Carson Wentz stock. But to me, once your character comes up, I'm sold on. I can't.
Too many times.
I can't do that.
Short career there, they said he had that me attitude or his way or the highway type attitude. Like, nah, bro, you got to go with that shit. Quick points real quick. So, you know how big I am on resume. And I just want to be able to see you do it, over the course of a season, a few more games than what he got right now. But the reason why I'm so high on this young man right now, I was having this conversation with my big cousin the other day because he said the main thing I love to say for a lot of guys that doesn't have that resume, that lengthy resume. Oh, defensive coordinators ain't got no film on them, or they ain't got no film on them. They, wait till next year, wait till they get some film on them. I'm like, okay, I definitely get that from a schematical standpoint. But we can also counteract that and scheme up for the shit that they're doing for us too moving forward. So I get that. I definitely get wait till they get some film on them. But the reason why I'm so high on the kid is, what were we complaining about for Carson? At least me and you, because you actually still on the Carson train. We said Carson didn't have no O-line. This past week, my Eagles started their 14th lineup in 15 games. That's the most in NFL history, guys. Do your homework. That's the most in NFL history, just to give my guy a little slack. But we said Carson had no line. His star running back Sanders been in and out the lineup this year. Zach Ertz, his star tight end, been in and out the lineup this year. Weapons on the outside. Half the time we don't even know the guys' names. Man, F all that. This kid is balling with the same weapons. And first of all, it's not like we're playing the Bengals. First game, he plays the hottest, if not the number 1 defense in the league, a team that hasn't gave up 100 yards rushing in over 50 games. We play the Saints, the hottest team in the league. He lights up the Saints. We'll come back the next week. He throws for over 300 yards, no interceptions, 3 touchdowns against a top 5 secondary. Come on, man. I don't care about film or not. With those weapons, I can see if he was doing it with all pro level talent or just talent field roster all around. I'll be like, okay, they're making him look good. He still got weapons. No, this kid, he's doing it all without any weapons, any weapon. And I'm
And
sold. I'm sold. I'm sorry. I won't say like I'm sold as far as him being my franchise guy moving forward. I wanted to be that, and I'm jumping on this train. But I see the talent. I just need to see it a little more over a few more games to be like, okay, that's my franchise guy. But I'm definitely on the young man train. I like the potential. I see it. I love the poisonous, his leadership. He's so calm, his demeanor every time.
That was my point. Like, he stepped in and dysfunction. Like, to your point, right? 15 different lineups. That's unreal. And the quality, I'm all about quality of play. If he had played the Bengals and Giants, I don't know what the Eagles should do. They would be in a tough spot. I don't know. Like, this could be for real. I don't know. But he's playing playoff teams. And yes, they didn't beat the Cardinals, but they're in it the whole game because of the plays Hurts was making. He was the it factor to keep them alive. If Wentz was in that game, they're blown out. They're blown out. Right? There's picks. It's just a sloppy mess. And that's why I'm going to say I believe in Hurts. Already, I went to look at Lamar's first 2 games as a rookie. Hurts already put him more slinging the pill better than him his first 2 games as a rookie. So I'm like, okay.
And only a few yards behind him for running it.
Exactly. So I'm like, all right, Hurts. I'm seeing Hurts get the edge as a runner. Then he's strong as well to carry the guy for extra yards. He's durable. He's a leader. The question was, can he throw in the pocket? He's showing me that 2 games against quality competition. And then on top of that, he's making the plays outside the pocket. So I was like, okay, you're hitting all the check box for me. Now, where's the next steps? A consistent thrower, right? Be able to make adjustments at the line. But that's for any rookie quarterback. So I don't know. I don't need any more games. I know he's going to play well this week and finish the year. Like I said, last game was all I really needed after that, man, to see what he's doing. And to the biggest point, as you mentioned, we saw what Carson did with this same offense. And for a rookie to make stuff happen with all the dysfunction, all the O-line, the injuries, that's where I had to tip my hat, because that's usually where rookies fail, right? It's like, hey, you threw him in a bad spot. That's not happening with Hurts. So I'm on the Hurts. I'm on the Hurts bandwagon after 2 games, after never being on it, talking mess from the day he got a spot took by Tua. I've been a Hurts hater since the day he got a spot took by Tua. And today I'm sitting here done with Carson because of his character. I've been battling for him all year, and I'm a Hurts fan. I might have to get number 2 jersey.
Man, I'm right there with you.
Now let's talk real quick. We got we talked about our Bay teams. We Hurts. But the end goal every year is to win the Super Bowl. And right now, I don't know who's better than the Chiefs. I don't even know who the second best team is to tickle the Chiefs' feathers. I don't know. Is there any competition for the Chiefs right now?
There's definitely some competition for the Chiefs. It's definitely not a lot. I'm still holding out reservations on one team. I got a team for sure that I think is the second best team that will give us the best Super Bowl matchup. And then the third team behind them, I'm kind of holding out reservations just because they just had an embarrassing loss. The Rams, I'll touch on them in a second. But first team I will say is the Saints. I think we just seen our Super Bowl matchup, man, preview. And I would love to see it in a few weeks with a healthy Drew. And the main reason why is because of that defense. Hey, I watched a lot of Pat games this year. I feel like I haven't missed really many of the Chiefs games. I try to catch every one of Pat's. That was the most I've seen Pat. That might have been the most I've seen Pat work since last year's Super Bowl. And even last year's Super Bowl, like towards the end, he made it look easy. So really in like 2 years, that's one of the games I haven't seen Pat work like that. Like if you really watch that game, every drop back, the Saints was on his ass. And it wasn't even like they was bringing a lot of pressure. They was, but I know Jordan's a beast, but I didn't even know about the Hawkins. No. Hendrickson or he was eating Eric Fisher ass up to the point where the tackle to the point where Pat. I seen Pat go talk to Fisher a few times. Him and Eddie like, hey man, you gotta do something. Bro, Trey Henderson, I think, or Henderson. I gotta go look up his name. One of the D linemen for the Saints, but they can rush forward and then the back end. For the most part, it was sticky defense. Every one of Pat's big time throws this past weekend was off of broken down plays where he's just doing something with his legs and then finding somebody to get open. Lattimore and the crew was sticking, man. Marcus Williams dropped a pick at safety. So I definitely love the Saints. I think they give us our best chance against the against the Chiefs because they can create pressure with their front four and they can cover on the back end. They just made the Chiefs work real well, real hard this past week. And in my second team, I'm still gonna go with this Rams just because, like I said, it's not easy to be top 5 in offense and defense. They still got a good defense. I don't know if Goff. If those two matched up again, Goff and Mahomes, I think it'll just be like that Jimmy G all over again. Because I think Goff is a Jimmy G level quarterback. I just don't think he can outplay Mahomes. But I do like that team, so I'm gonna go with them a far distance, second or third, just because they just had a bad, embarrassing loss, and that proves to you how up and down the Rams can play. But I think really the best second, like the team that really got the best shot, is the Saints, and we just seen that this past week.
Well, they lost though.
Yeah, but hey, like I said, they made him work. Hey, when I tell you, Pat was under duress the whole game, bro. I was watching that shit, bro. It was not easy. Every one of his throws, his touchdowns was on the move, and it was him breaking the pocket. I'm saying nothing looked easy for him.
Yeah, I looked at the game a little different. They lost their running back at the beginning of the game. They got real pass happy, kept them alive. I honestly look at the second best team in the NFL being the Bills, not the Saints, because it's because of the quarterback. At the end of the day, you win Super Bowls because you have a generational defense with a coach, or you have the best quarterback. So when you're playing the Chiefs, I have to look at, is Drew gonna outperform Pat in the Super Bowl? No. First of all, I gotta say the Saints even get there. They lost in the first round last year. They have not been going deep in the playoffs. They haven't been in the NFC Championship in the 2010s. So that's my other point there. But honestly, I just think the Bills. I'm ready for the Bills Chiefs AFC Championship. I think that'll be the most entertaining game. I just don't see who has the coach with the quarterback. Drew is not Drew anymore. He's an average QB in the league with a loaded team and a great coach.
Hey, I mean, he just came back, bro. I had like some cracked ribs. I never broke my ribs. That shit hurts. And he just came. That was his first game back. He's still with like 23-4 on the year. Drew been hurt most of the year, and he played that game most of the season in that pass game without Mike Thomas, his number one threat.
Yeah, I just don't see. I just see the Chiefs and then the Bills, Saints, Rams.
I like that Bills. I like that Bills Chiefs AFC Championship. I think the Bills definitely.
Okay, let me ask you this: who's a better team, last year Niners team or this year's Saints team? Because last year Niners team was a clear cut number 1 seed. They lost 3 games. Sorry.
Hold on. Why you say that? They played the Saints in the regular season. The Saints had them beat. Stupid ass corner want to come up and try to sweep tackle.
They lost though. They lost.
What's the name? They lost, but it wasn't blown out. It was a shootout.
Why do the Saints always do some dumb shit though?
They do. I'm just saying that was game of the year. And I'm saying they can compete with the best. I'm gonna go with the Saints this year. I like they D, and I'm taking at the end of the day. I'm taking a Hall of Fame quarterback over.
Someone made a great point. Analyst made a great point, and the reason why the Saints haven't done well in the playoffs. If your quarterback cannot stretch the field, you're going to struggle. The Saints have been one and done in playoffs multiple years, and this is not even their best team. That's why for instance, if I'm in Tampa versus Saints in the playoffs, I'm gonna take Tampa because I trust Tom. Playoffs.
Hell no.
No. Playoffs is different than regular season. Playoffs is different than regular season.
All right, go ahead, go finish.
So I'm taking playoff Tom over playoff Breeze. That's the level of football when the playoffs are different. So I'm looking like this in the playoffs. The Saints out in the last decade have not gave me a reason. Oh yeah, I gotta go with Saints in the playoffs. They have not, and this is one of their worst teams. It's not one of their best teams.
What do you mean? This is one of their best teams. Hey, this is probably their best defense since Drew been there. What are you talking about?
Overall.
So that's the next point I was going to get to as far as the playoff.
Okay.
Hold on, I got you. I want to touch on your point where you said to be successful in the playoffs, you got to be able to push the ball downfield. Definitely, your offense has to be explosive. I get that. But what's the two key factors still in the playoff football to win games in playoff football? Can you stop the run and can you run the ball?
They can't do that though.
Zay, what are you talking? They just gave it their first 100-yard rushing game in over 50 games. They're still.
Look, how do we judge defenses? We judge defenses on points per game, right? Their defense isn't even close to the Niners' defense last year. Niners' defense was way better than their defense this year.
We're not talking about last year. We're talking about this year. I'm saying this year, the Saints have one of the best defenses. I don't know what you're looking at. They have one of the top run defense, so they can stop the run in the playoffs. And then secondly, they have a two-headed monster at running back. And one of those two-headed monsters is an all-pro talent, maybe Hall of Fame talent running back Alvin Kamara. So you don't need to consistently push the ball down the field. You can actually, it might be better if you don't versus the Chiefs. You might want to run the ball and get Murray and Kamara involved to kill clock and run the ball on the Chiefs. Secondly, the Bills, I just don't feel like they have enough defense to see Kansas City.
Yeah, my Saints stock is sold. I'm going to bet against them in every playoff game, and this is the reason why. They beat their best win this year is you beat Tampa. You lost against your competition.
Yes.
That's cool. They beat Tampa. You lost against the Raiders. You lost against Green Bay. You lost against the Chiefs. You lose against every good team you play this year outside of Tampa. You got Tampa's number.
And what did I say for each of those games? I kept telling you about their passing offense, and you wouldn't want to give me that nod. I told you Mike Thomas was out all those big games, and that's half their passing game.
Oh.
And they're sitting them now for a healthy playoff run. So imagine how Mike about to come back.
Hey, I don't see the Saints beating the Chiefs. That's what it's about. I don't see them being the Chiefs in the playoffs, just in the Super Bowl if they get there.
Hey, I hope the Chiefs. I hope the Saints and the Bucks play each other. I ain't gonna bet a lot, but I'm still betting just because I know it's hard to beat a team 3 times in 1 year.
Yeah, Tampa's gonna beat them in the playoffs. That's a fact.
Saints is better than the Bucks, bro. I'm sorry. Nope. Tom Brady can't stand in that pocket against that front.
Let's make the wager. Let's make the wager right now.
We can't. But you acting like you didn't see that second game versus the Saints and the Bucks. Brady, they get pressure on his ass. Brady is not standing in that pocket making no throws against the Saints. I'm sorry, Zay. He threw like 3-4 picks against them the last time they played. Lattimore and them is sticking shit. Mike Evans can't run past Lattimore. Zay, I'm telling you that I can't believe you even said that one. Zay. I get playoff time and all that, but not against this front four. Maybe I'll take the Bucks over Green Bay, maybe, because Green Bay a little more finesse, but you're not just about to bro through the Saints in the playoffs. I don't care. And yeah, every loss they had the last couple of years, first round exit in the playoffs, it meant close games. You remember how they got cheated? I think that was a championship game with the Nicole Roman with the Rams when they got cheated on the pass interference. So it ain't like teams is blowing them out. They squeaking by these boys.
Okay, let's say this. It's really hard to blow teams out in general NFL, let alone the playoffs.
Especially in the playoffs.
So a win's a win. This is NFL. We don't count wins a win. I'm just going to leave this here. They lost against Kirk Cousins last year in the first round at their crib. That's all I have to say. And again, this is a new year. They're 10-4, and they might lose against the Vikings this weekend. So I'm not sold on them.
Hey, for the past 5 years, Minnesota might have the best defense if we just go over totality of the 5 years because they've been top 5, top 10 in the last 3 or 4 years.
No, exactly. So I'm just, again, to go back to the original question, the Chiefs, only team to me that even has an ounce of superpower to beat them, not keep it close, to beat them is the Bills to me. And to me,
that was my dark horse. I just don't think they got enough defense. I don't think they sticking or putting nearly enough pressure. Mahomes might throw 500 on them. I'm sorry.
That's my thing. No one stops Pat. So if you can't stop him, who can run with him? And that's to me there's only one team.
So exactly, if nobody can stop him, who can make his ass work? And I'm telling you, go back and watch that all 22 of this past weekend, Zay. I promise.
Okay. Can I ask you this last question?
Under duress.
Can I ask you this last question?
What's up, baby?
There's only one team that actually made them work for 2 games this year, and that's the Raiders. And we're not going to sit here and say the Raiders the Raiders beat them at their crib by 10 points, and then it lost by 3 points. So
that first game, the second game, I didn't watch the second game. The first game, you guys didn't get no pressure whatsoever the first half. It was all second half. And I'm telling you, if you watch this past weekend Saints game, they was on his ass from the beginning to that last snap, bro, making his ass sweat. I'm telling Zay, all I'm saying
It's still lost.
No, I'm saying, Zay, are you not going to get the Saints any credit, Zay?
I don't give credit for moral losses. I'm not giving you credit for losing.
I'm saying when you're playing a championship or the best team, you got to take some more victory out of it as far as like to move forward. Okay, yeah, now we know we can play with these boys. I'm telling you, like literally every one of past throws this past week was broken down plays. He didn't make nothing from the pocket. Nothing looked comfortable. That was on his
and
ass.
That's why they're going to be 15-1 because even when you do that, you still lose.
No, but I'm saying that's not the question. The question is who has the best chance to knock the Chiefs off. I'm telling you, that was the best chance. That was the best shot at the crown, at the champ. This past weekend, that was the best shot. I don't think nobody. I think Josh Allen could play. If Josh Allen was on the Saints, I'd say the Saints. I wouldn't even say. I wouldn't just say the Saints have action to beat them. They might just beat the Chiefs if Josh Allen's on the Saints. Because that defense is 10 times better than if the Bills was playing like last year's defense, I'd give them maybe like 30% chance. Right now, I'm at like 20. Just because I don't like their defense. If they had last year's defense, the Bills, I'll give them a higher chance against the Chiefs right now. But they don't get consistent pressure, and they're not playing sticky on the back end.
Yeah, I hear it. I hear it. You got to be dynamic at quarterback, and you can't just have a good defense. I got to talk about you like the Legion of Boom. You're one of those generational defenses. They're not. So I feel you, Dylan. If they're a generational defense, I'm right with you. They're gonna mess up Pat. We saw him, right? Had him distressed.
All right, tell me this. Name a better. I want to say defense. We can do both defense or secondary because Marcus Williams is damn near a Pro Bowl player at safety. You got Lattimore. Lattimore's top 5, maybe top 3 at corner. And then you got a front four that hasn't allowed 100-yard rushing or only 100-yard rushing game in 50 of their past game. So what other defense combined do you see can bring that type of what other defense can you see bring that type of player personnel?
None. And that's my point. There's not a generational defense in the league right now. And so that means I saw the Niners. That was one of the best defenses I've seen in a while. And it doesn't matter. So my thinking is if you want to beat the Chiefs, you need some type of pass rusher, a good coach, and an A-level quarterback. There's only one team that has that. The Bills are top 5 in sacks. They have a quarterback and they got a coach. And they beat big boys. That's why it's the only team I see that can schematically and hang with them because of their quarterback and what they have built. I can't look at who has the best defense and the most balance. No, what are you good at? The Chiefs are best in offense, and they got a defense that can turn the ball over. They don't have a top 10 defense. So that's why I'm looking at, okay, that the best coach in the league, or Bill Belichick, right? Second best coach in the league, best quarterback, and they got ballers on defense with Frank Clark, Chris Jones, and Matthew. So what team can compete with that level? Sean McDermott, I see Josh Allen, and the teams you beat. Now, the Saints, they're balanced. I'm not with the balance. The balance doesn't win you chips. What are you excellent at? Their defense is good. We're not going to talk about this defense 10 years from now, 5 years from now. That's my only point. I think it takes offense to beat the Chiefs with some type of pass rush. Like, crazy enough, I think the Eagles match up well against the Chiefs team. They pass rush and score points. That's what you need. Pass rush, score points. The Niners had pass rush, but cannot keep up with the points. That's all I got.
Pass rush, though. Like, pass rush is the biggest part because you got to get that pressure on Pat. But still, at the end of the day, you got to have some sticky on the back end, too, Zach. And I think as far as with that combination of pass rush and sticky on the back end, I don't see nobody that's better than the Saints as a viable option.
Yeah, that's good, though. We're going to see it on playoff time. No better. I mean, football playoffs to me is nothing better than sports.
We got a matchup this week. Me and you were supposed to put money on this, but I had Indy. You got Pittsburgh this week, right?
Yep.
What you want to put on it?
They lost 2 in a
row. Is that pick?
You got
I got Indy, man.
You want to put some cash on it? What you want to put? We could do old school push-ups. We can do whatever.
Yeah, we can do that. We'll talk about it off air. I'm kind of scared though because they are on the 3-game losing streak.
I got one. Yeah. Here's a wager. If the coach lose, you gotta wear a Cowboy jersey.
Ooh,
if Pittsburgh lose, I gotta wear shit. I wear a Niner or Pat jersey.
Yeah, Niner paraphernalia. All right, we can do that.
We can do something like that. You gotta take a pic.
Yeah, no, I'm Cowboy fans gonna hate me, but we can do that.
All right, for sure. We'll talk about it. On Christmas Day, little Christmas Day pic.
Facts.
All right, man. That's all we got. Talk to you on Friday.
Yes, sir.
Still went for it. It's time to change the club.